What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining me once again. This is another one of Hoggie's beer reviews, and this is kind of a classic episode, classic installment, because today we're drinking a classic American beer. I'm sure a lot of you guys recognize it already. If you don't, take a good look at it. This is PBR, Pabst Blue Ribbon. Pabst at one point was one of the most popular beers in the country. They fell on hard times, and it's not what it used to be. They're a small player now, but they're still around. They've had a resurgence, and a lot of people consider Pabst to be one of the better American macro adjunct lagers out there. Pabst Blue Ribbon, Pabst Beer, Pabst Brewery. Pabst no longer brews beers. Pabst is now a holding company. They own many names to many beers. Pabst owns Heilman and Old Style and Schlitz and Old English and St. Ives. All those brands are owned by Pabst. In turn, Pabst is owned by another company. I think they were recently bought out. And they contract brew their beers to Miller. So these are actually all brewed in Miller facilities. But yeah, Pabst Blue Ribbon. A lot of people love it for what it is. And you gotta love the price point. This 4-pack of tall cans, 16-ounce tall cans, I got for $2.89. The clerk actually had to go and double check the price on the shelf because he couldn't believe the 4-pack was that cheap. So, that is the benefit of PBR. It's cheap beer, and a lot of people consider it one of the best cheap beers out there. And it's a classic American beer with history. Now, I've never had it before because up until about 5 years ago, they did not sell this in my area. South Florida did not know what Pabst was up until between 5 and 10 years ago, I'd say. So, I never got around to it, but now is the time because I want to go back and try all those classic American beers. So just to punch it up on Beer Advocate, Pabst Blue Ribbon, PBR, receives a C overall, and that's out of 1,157 reviews. So out of over 1,000 reviews, it gets a C, but the bros do consider it a B-. And of course, it's a Pabst Brewing Company. It's an American adjunct lager, of course, and it's 4.74 ABV, so says Beer Advocate. Now, I don't expect much, but, this is just one of those cheap American standard lagers that, depending on what part of the country you live in, it may just be a neighborhood favorite or a regional favorite. It's been around a very, very long time. Pabst beer has been around since the 1800s. So, I just want to crack one of these open and see what it's all about. I don't want to use my sacrificial mug for this. I don't want to use a standard pint glass. And it's a big can, so it won't fit in my Pilsner glass. So I figured I'd break out the half-liter Polliner glass. Seems appropriate. And, there's not much else to it, man. Crack one open and dig right in. And, it's a light color. You can see it right away. I'm not expecting to get my socks blown off. I'm not expecting anything amazing. This is an American adjunct lager. But some are better than others. I had the Schlitz, I reviewed the Schlitz, regular Schlitz beer a while back, and I actually found it to be very tasty and easy drinking for what it is. Oh, look at that, perfect. This may be my new glass for 16-ounce tall cans. Alright. So, it built up a very nice soapy head. And it actually doesn't smell, the adjunct smell isn't that strong. There's a little bit of grassy hops in there, some pale malt, but it's not that really cheap processed kind of malty sweetness that you get. There is some corn in there, but it's not as strong and as pungent as in, say, Busch. For what this is, the smell is almost kind of nice. It still smells like an adjunct lager. It's a pale straw color. It's a hair darker than pale straw. Call it a very light gold. It's super clear. There's a lot of carbonation. But again, it does remind me of Busch, but kind of a milder and a bit more pleasant version of it. And of course, this has nothing to do with Budweiser, so that's always a good thing. So yeah, man, enough of that. Let's see what this tastes like. Wow. That is very simple and very smooth. In a way, it reminds me of the Schlitz. It's very smooth, very simple, very light. It's crisp, and there's not a lot of flavor to it. When you're talking about when you're talking about beers made with corn and other cheaper ingredients, you know, extract as opposed to real malt or real hops, stuff like that, when you get a lot of flavor, usually it's an unwanted flavor, that cooked veggie kind of corn flavor that you get in a lot of these crappy beers. This doesn't have a lot of flavor at all, but it's in a good way because it still has enough of a body and enough of a bite from the carbonation and a little bit of bitterness at the finish to actually make it really enjoyable to drink without, you know, being a big deal. This thing goes down smooth. Very smooth. I like that. So, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and keep talking about this beer because this is a very simple adjunct lager. You know, my socks are still on. I'm not blown away, but I am pleasantly surprised that this is very nice, very easy to drink. I mean, very inoffensive. I understand why people think highly of PBR for an adjunct lager. It's simple, it's tasty, the adjunct nastiness is not very strong at all. And I mean, on a hot day, I could put down all 4 of these. And you know what, if I'm grilling, if I'm barbecuing, if it's, you know, something like that, kind of cookout, outdoorsy kind of thing, tossing back a few after mowing the lawn, stuff like that, day at the beach even, I can really get behind this beer. And at under $3 for a 4-pack. So, I mean, there you go, guys, PBR. One of the last classic American brands still out there, and tastier than your Bud, your Miller, or your Coors. Take it how you want it, that's my opinion. I'm going to enjoy drinking these, and then I'm off to the movies. So I'm going to go have some fun, and you guys, go drink a beer. Thanks for joining me, guys. Take care, and cheers. Bonus footage. Never done a shotgun before. Let's see what happens. Knife. Beer. God help me. I fucked up and bent it out, and I don't want to cut my lip, so bear with me a second here while I bend that in. Okay. Okay. Almost had it. I ran out of breath. Beer mess. Fail.